This is starting. I think we're starting.
We're starting.
That's how it starts.
Push it with your dick, dude.
It worked! I am Ray Taylor. I clearly don't have a regular job. I was never really into comic books growing up. Like, I was a geek.
Well, you should tell your face that, because you look exactly like
I do.
Watch the fights.
Fuck yeah, I watch the fights.
I'm Keith Spurlock.
I watch every kind of pornography.
I said,
all right, to counteract my cancer that I'm giving myself,
Right.
I smoke weed after every cigarette.
What were we just fucking talking about? And this is the Inspired Disorder Podcast. I'm not going to allow you to have an opinion on this just because you're wrong.
Is anyone else's podcast about like jerking off in UFC?
What's going on, everybody? My name is Ray Taylor, and this is an update for the Inspired Disorder Podcast. Beep, 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 beep. I'm in Denver. I have an apartment. I moved in a week ago. I'm unpacking right now, kind of. Not that I had a whole lot to unpack. It's mainly just unboxing podcasting equipment and studio equipment. Ordered a bunch of equipment, so hopefully that will show up soon, and I can start building the studio. Still don't have any furniture. Sleeping on an air mattress at the moment, which is fine. I don't mind it. I like it. But at some point, I will need to get furniture, not only for me to sleep on, but stuff to sit on in the living room, stuff to podcast around in the living room, other than fold up camping chairs. But I am here. I am in Denver. I've been here for a couple weeks. Haven't met anybody. I've been focused. First, just stressed out trying to find a place. Not the easiest time of year necessarily, or I don't know if it's the time of year. But my price range for what I was looking for, 2-bedroom places, are very popular. Most places have waiting lists, so I was lucky I was able to sneak into this place, and it turned out to be, so far I like it a lot. It's different than all the other ones. It's more of just an apartment building. We have to be buzzed in at the front door, which I think is pretty cool. So we're kind of downtown-ish, but not really. Like, there's just houses and schools, like, just a couple blocks that way. There's, like, hospitals that way, and the Denver Zoo is just north of us a little bit. But I like it. It's a nice spot, good rent. The landlord dude, or whoever is in charge, the manager dude, he's cool. So it seems pretty chill, and they allowed me to live here, so that's always a plus as well. But yeah, so at the end of the month, Keith will be moving out. Waiting on Keith. I mean, I still need to build the studio, but so podcast will be back recording in November, beginning in November. So Keith is coming out at the end of October, and as anything aside from that, it's just putting everything together. People have been asking, and maybe if you're watching this, you haven't been asking, but I'm going to tell you anyway. If you would like to support the podcast, the only thing currently that is set up, and it's the main thing that I want everybody to go to, is our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Now, what Patreon is, it's kind of like Kickstarter, but for people that are constantly putting out content. So a lot of artists can use it, musicians, podcasters. There's probably other things, but basically what it is, if you want to support that artist, you go there, you donate, $1 or whatever amount you want, and it's a monthly donation. So if you do $1, which is nothing. I mean, it's really a low amount. Every month you will give that artist $1, and of course the artist will get a percentage of that, Patreon getting the other percentage. And there's different perks and things depending on how much you donate. And you'll see goals and things and what we're trying to get to as far as with the podcast, things that directions we want to go with it. And that can always change, and there's always behind the scenes, like there's the Patreon feed. So that's only for Patreon donors, and you'll get a lot of special content and behind the scenes content there. So a lot of cool stuff, and that's where I want people to go right now to help support the podcast. So patreon.com/inspireddisorder. patreon.com/inspireddisorder. And just check it out. And if you want to donate, feel free to donate, and that would help us out. And soon the store will be reopening. It's been closed for almost, it seems like a year now, with remodeling the old place, and then it's the whole long process of moving and having everything boxed up. So the store will be reopening, where you can find Diseasy shirts, 40 sacks, stickers, and new artwork. I sold and or gave away all of my old artwork, so all new stuff will be in the store, which you can check out. And then I'm working on new stuff, working on new shirt designs, hats, mugs, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of new stuff that's going to be coming to the store as well. But for now, go to Patreon and check that out. All the links, by the way, if you want to subscribe to the podcast, or links to our Patreon, links to the store, links to everything, you can find that at inspireddisorder.com. inspireddisorder.com/podcast for the podcast specifically. And I think that's it. So this is just a quick update for the podcast. Hopefully the video turned out good. This is like the 5th take, framing and audio issues, technology herpes, basically. But thank you all for supporting the podcast. Thank you all for supporting me. Thank you all for supporting my art. And I'm excited to show you what we're working on, what I'm working on, what we're going to be doing. Thank you all, and peace out.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast. Embedded signals within this podcast have reprogrammed your natural thinking patterns. Side effects may include lack of inhibitions, erectile dysfunction, anal leakage, transcendental communication with beings from 4 of the 7 primary dimensions. In the event of a tear in space-time, please keep your hands down and feet together. Any loss of life or limbs due to interdimensional travel is not the responsibility of this podcast.